This is an Audi A4 event, the most iconic wagon in Europe. Although it has great craftsmanship, plenty of room, and excellent handling, very basic material and features are not in line with its luxury status. Of course, you probably don't care because you're used to it. But today, for the same amount of money, you can get a wagon like this. I'm sorry, I wasn't clear enough. That applies only to Chinese market. In Europe, this ET5 Touring actually costs as much as an S4 event. But still, this will be the wagon you've all been waiting for. I'm Harris, you're watching NIO EV. At the launch, NIO called it the world's first smart electric tourer, which obviously shows that NIO doesn't consider Porsche smart. I think we've already had a good understanding of how smart NIO is, so let's start with the question you're most interested in. Is this a good wagon? I believe a good wagon must have three things: a right size, a beautiful design, and a spacious back. First, let's look at the size. At just under 4.8 meters, the size is similar to the standard compact wagon, so it's perfectly capable of traversing through the narrow urban roads of Europe. But thanks to a flexible layout of the EV, it can have a 2.9-meter wheelbase, which makes it very roomy. While the comfort of the ET5 isn't the best in the world, its rear legroom has always been outstanding, at least better than the counterparts from the three German giants. And thanks to the flat roof that comes with the wagon body, the Touring now has more headroom. So the overall space in the back is beyond segment, even approaching that of the mid-size wagon. One thing to be noticed, in order to have enough room for battery swap, it has a whopping 1.96 meter of width. With battery getting bigger and bigger, we have to live with it. Second, the appearance. I probably don't need to say much about it, because you should be able to form your own judgment. As a wagon guy, I've always believed that Audi and Porsche produce the most attractive wagons in the world. However, after seeing the ET5 Touring, I now think that NIO even has a better taste in wagon than Audi does, although it still falls slightly short compared to the Porsches. Of course, if I had to nitpick, there still things could be improved. For example, the somewhat cheap-looking rear wiper appears in a very prominent position on the rear windshield. And if it could be hidden in the rear spoiler like the ES6, it will be really perfect. The ground clearance of the ET5 Touring is slightly higher than that of an ICE car, but considering the passability and battery swap, the height of the car, which is only a few centimeters higher, doesn't seem to be that big of a deal. If you can think of a better looking and more elegant wagon than this, well, apart from the Porsche Sport Turismo, please let me know in the comments. Lastly, the boot. The opening and space are actually not that excellent. The short rear overhang and the shooting brake low roofline do not leave enough room for the rear. But that's okay, because there are plenty surprises in the boot. The threshold won't get in the way when loading stuff in the back, and there's additional storage underneath the floor. There are two storable hooks on the tailgate for attaching a tent or hanging a lamp. The 4x4 layout is the same as the ES6, so that even there's a long object in the car, the back seat can still accommodate two passengers. As an ET5 owner, that is where I feel most betrayed. Except from this, there are retractable ropes for hanging stuff, a portable lamp/flashlight, and some fixed points for curtain and cargo net. And even if you still found a lack of storage, you can also get a pair of roof rails and an electric tow bar for more flexibility. As a wagon guy myself, the reason why Audi Event became my dream car is because all of these features and details in the back. And the ET5 Touring has done just that. So do you think this is a good wagon? And if your answer is yes, let's take a look at another aspect. What going smart electric mean to wagons? Wagon and EV are not a perfect fit, because a wagon is meant to handle long-distance travel, but an electric car is not suitable for that. However, thanks to powerful software and flexible energy replenishment, this ET5 Touring might be able to pull it off. First, the range. A long range and a fast replenishment are essential if an EV wants to take a long trip. And before the energy density and charging speed of battery see a significant breakthrough, NIO's battery swap might be the best solution. Say, if you buy a 75 kWh battery version, swapping instead of charging can give the car a roughly 400 km of range in just a few minutes. Being able to temporarily getting a 100 kWh battery at any time can meet different traveling needs. And having the possibility to swap a different battery means that it will have even longer range in the future because a 150 kWh battery is on the way. But of course, the NIO experience outside China is less flexible. After all, there are only a dozen swap stations in Europe, while there are thousands of stations in China. Then there's the ADAS. A good ADAS can make you more relaxed during a long drive. Although I complained a lot about NIO's driving assist in my previous videos, I have to admit that the Highway NOP Plus on my ET5 did get better after upgrading to the Bion 2.0 system that introduced BEV technology. And we heard that the NOP Plus will be fully functional in Europe. If you guys are interested in what the new NOP Plus can do, hit the like button and I will make a video of it in my ET5. Traveling in a wagon, camping might be a major part of the trip, so the intelligent cockpit is very essential for the living space inside the car. And this is what sets NIO apart. It has camp mode, net mode, and other modes for almost all scenarios one might encounter when the car is stationary. The N-Box system allows a better viewing experience for all the passengers. And more importantly, the electric vehicle is able to power all the electronics quietly, while the ICE car has to keep the engine running. Apart from having to pay $500 for the converter to let it power your devices, the ET5 Touring does combine EV with wagon perfectly, and it will definitely offer you a whole new travel experience. You might not know that wagons, which are very popular in Europe, are actually quite niche in China. However, NIO still insisted on creating a wagon that strikes on perfect balance with its modular size and price while delivering outstanding performance and practicality to Europeans. And it's not just the cars, but also the powerful surface that has been proven successful in China for several years, which has now been fully introduced to the European market, aiming to provide a brand new experience. I wonder if such a dedicated approach can impress those of you halfway across the world. If you're a wagon guy like me and want to try out new things, I really suggest that you should have it. Or just rent it for a few months. I guarantee it will not let you down, because the guy behind the camera has just bought one.